With drains on Vercel, we can start collecting critical platform logs that simply aren't available with the Sentry SDK alone. I'm Kyle, and let's take a look at ingesting logs from Vercel on Sentry. The Sentry SDK already captures logs created inside your application with traces connected. But not every log you want to alert on comes from your application code. On Vercel, with a Pro or Enterprise plan, you can configure a log drain to bridge this gap. While the SDK monitors your runtime, log drains capture platform-level events that happen entirely outside of your code, like firewall activity and build performance, and pipes them directly into Sentry. By ingesting this data, you gain a level of visibility that was previously impossible. For example, firewall logs provide a real-time feed of blocked requests, helping you identify malicious traffic patterns or misconfigured rules before they impact users. Similarly, build logs allow you to monitor deployment health at a granular level. You can track cache utilization to identify cold builds that are slowing down your CI/CD pipeline and ensuring deployments stay fast and efficient. To start collecting Vercel logs in Sentry, from Vercel, go to Settings and click on Drains, and then Add Drain. Select Logs and continue. From here, you can configure a log drain. Give it a name like your project Vercel drain, and make sure to configure it to send only the current project, not everything. Then, check off those drain sources we mentioned earlier, like builds and firewall. For the destination, you have two choices. If you've configured the Sentry app in the Vercel marketplace, you can automatically configure your Sentry project as the destination with the native integration. If you haven't, you can also set up a custom endpoint. Just go to your project settings in Sentry, click Client Keys from the sidebar, and then you can find your custom endpoint URL in the Vercel Drains tab. If you expand that section, you'll also see the security headers. Don't forget to include those as well. Save your new drain, and that's it. You're now already receiving logs. In Sentry, go to Explore, Logs, and you should start to see the logs coming in live. If you're also collecting logs from the Sentry SDK and want to see only logs from Vercel, we can add to our query to filter down to logs with the origin attribute auto.logdrain Vercel. If you take a look at any of these logs, you'll notice that they also have a Vercel.source attribute, which lines up with the sources we checked off while we were setting up the log drain. Say we wanted to monitor across all builds how often we are building without a cache. We can first filter down to all of our builds and then search for logs containing no cache. Once we find a miss, if we want, we can filter down to that specific deployment ID. If we clear out all the other filters, we can now see every log associated with that deployment. We can use any of these attributes to build queries to alert on. For instance, we could create an alert for a sudden spike in firewall blocks. By monitoring the firewall source and checking for examples where the web application firewall denies a request, we can be notified immediately if Vercel starts blocking an unusual amount of traffic, allowing us to investigate potential DDoS attacks or rule misconfigurations in real time. By connecting your Vercel log drains to Sentry, you're no longer just monitoring your code. You're monitoring your app's entire stack. From firewall blocks to build performance, you now have the full context you need to resolve issues faster. Every aspect of your deployed Vercel project is now live, searchable, and ready to debug, right inside of Sentry. Head over to your Vercel settings, set up your first log drain today, and get the full picture of your application. Thanks for watching.